If there is a leak in the roof, you put a bucket under it. If there is a leak in the bucket, you whack it with some flex tape. If there is a leak for your game, you get mocked and ridiculed by YouTube channels. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host Carl Monroe, and you're alive because everyone you've met has decided not to kill you, for now. Game leaks are infamous in the gaming world. Sometimes they're incredible and we've been wanting them for years. Elder Scrolls 6. But some of them are just annoying and ruin everyone's experience. Last of Us Part 2. However, which ones are so bad that we wish they didn't actually happen? That's what we're exploring with today's list of the top 10 scary game leaks we wish were fake. Roll the intro. In at 10, Jurassic World Evolution 2. Jurassic World Evolution is basically a make-your-own Jurassic Park game from the makers of Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. I've actually played Planet Coaster and I really liked it. However, Jurassic World Evolution is something I didn't know existed until researching this list, but from what I've seen about the game, there is no need for a sequel. Planet Coaster didn't get a sequel, Planet Zoo isn't getting a sequel because they're literally games about owning places. What can you do with that you can't easily add in an update or a DLC? I really hope Jurassic World Evolution 2, or whatever it ends up being called, is fake, because if it's not, I'm just gonna need to talk to some game devs. Just make a DLC. And at 9, PS4 Slim. Okay, this one is not a reveal about an actual game, but rather a game console. When the PS4 Slim was first being introduced, Sony was pretending it didn't exist, leading people like my father to assume that it was created by the government in an attempt to control us because Sony would never pretend like they didn't make a console that was clearly real, right? Well, even after people had made unboxing videos about the console, clearly showing that it existed, Sony didn't want the console to go public yet. So, they decided to just pretend like it didn't exist. And they continued to act like it didn't exist. Until their big announcement event that was months later. And they acted like it was some big surprise that nobody was expecting. Dude, there was literally reviews about the damn console before you even revealed it. It wasn't news to us, man. Can I get a chance to read new top 10 biggest Sony fails, because this has to be a number 1 now for sure. And today, Last of Us 2. In late April, key plot points and level details from the much anticipated Last of Us Part 2 was posted to YouTube, including gameplay. This revealed so much of the story from the upcoming game, and fans had speculated it was, to paraphrase FNAF, a rogue game developer. However, recently it was revealed that these leaks were actually courtesy of hackers who exploited a vulnerability from previous Naughty Dog games. This vulnerability is present in every Naughty Dog game, where then a final patch is created before release that prevents users who are data mining from accessing company files. In layman terms, that is. The actual process is much more complicated than that. Well, these hackers were able to gain access to an earlier patch of one of Naughty Dog's previous games, and used the exploit to gain access to company files, where they took around 1 to 3 terabytes worth of information. That's a lot of information. However, the hackers weren't the ones who leaked the information. According to @pixelbutts on Twitter, the hacking group shared the information with another person or group that then ended up leaking it online. That's in like a really basic way of putting it. It is by no means that simple or that blatant or even entirely accurate, but that's the easiest way I can describe it for you. If you want a more in-depth explanation, check out Pixelbutt's Twitter thread on the subject because he actually talks technical. 7, Fallout 4 script. Fallout 4 had already had a leak in 2014 where a user claimed the game was to be set in Boston and revealed a large portion of the story. However, this turned out to be a hoax. So obviously fans were weary when someone posted what they claimed to be the script for the opening of Fallout 4, which included lists of characters and dialogue. As it turns out, the script revealed was entirely true, and it was the script given to people auditioning to be a voice of any given character. So it's easy to say that Bethesda should have thought of that before giving people actual dialogue from the game. No matter, it was still an incredible early look into the game, and I'm not sure how many times the script for a game gets leaked, but I mean, it can't be too often, right? So it's definitely an odd occurrence in that sense as well. Bethesda, you're on this list quite a bit now, aren't you? And at 6, Fallout 76. While this isn't really a leak about the game, it's a leak that has to do with one of the biggest gaming disappointments of the last decade. The launch of Fallout 76 was messy, the game was unstable and not balanced, along with the noticeable lack of NPCs. However, the real leak came from the Power Armor Edition, where if purchased, you'd receive a functional Brotherhood of Steel helmet and a canvas bag. However, the canvas bags were not ready on time, and instead of delay shipping, Bethesda sent out nylon bags instead, and offered the customers a small amount of in-game currency. Really, Bethesda? However, later they did announce their intention to send out canvas bags to everyone who had bought this edition. All you had to do to claim it was open up a ticket using your Fallout 76 account if you had purchased the Power Armor edition and request your bag. And you'd get one once they were made. Sounds simple, right? Well, Bethesda wasn't done impressing the public with how much they can screw up, because after opening tickets, you were able to see other people's tickets as well. These tickets involved personal information pertaining to being compensated, like emails for contacting you, home addresses for shipping, and even credit card information for proof of purchase. Yeah. While not a leak about a game, surely one of the worst in Bethesda history. But also while looking this up, I got an ad for Fallout 76 Wastelanders that said, NPCs are here. The fact that that ad had to say that is very sad, okay? The NPCs should have been there from the start. Halfway through number 5, Color Splash. When a leak is so nuts that people actually start to believe Nintendo did it intentionally, you know that it would have had to make this list. In 2016, Nintendo had high hopes for the new installment in the Paper Mario series, Paper Mario Color Splash. The latest entry into their RPG series was set to release 3 weeks from the leak, and as has become the standard, they had a digital version of the game ready to be released, along with the game that would be put on store shelves. However, somehow, someway, the digital version was somehow released 3 weeks early on the Nintendo eShop, meaning fans could play the entire game and reveal its secrets thanks to Nintendo's own oversight. How does that even happen? How can something be released before your intended date? Unless it's the new YouTube studio. These questions lead fans of the series and Nintendo to speculate that they were actually the ones behind the leak, and they did it as an attempt to spark up interest. But even if that was the intention, it didn't really work, thus being a huge fail on their part. Nice work, Nintendo. Should have included this on the Nintendo fails list. And at 4, Kingdom Hearts 3. Fans have been waiting years for Kingdom Hearts 3, a game that would continue the story of the Final Fantasy action with Disney characters in a beloved mix. But as it turns out, fans didn't need to wait as long as they thought. In December 2018, 6 weeks before the intended release, practically the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 3 was leaked online. Square Enix quickly pointed out that the game's main epilogue was missing from the leaked details, but the fact that the game's plot points got online so early is really embarrassing and very confusing. How on earth did so much of the game get leaked without Square Enix being aware of it? Like, I get that the point of leaks is to make sure that the company doesn't know, but wouldn't they have had this thing under lock and key? Especially only 6 weeks before the official release. And it was highly anticipated. It's not even like it was revealed early. No, someone released all the important details aside from the epilogue. At least they had some decency. Can I even call it decency anymore though? And 3, let's go! Anything released on April Fool's Day is immediately discounted as a troll or just someone going along with the day. So with all the skepticism coming up with the day, when else would be the perfect day to leak info and probably not get in trouble for it? That's what this person thought in 2018 when the 4chan user shared images from what they claimed was a brand new Pokemon game for the Switch. The screenshot involved a trainer riding on a Lapras with Eevee on their head and a Starmie and Magikarp floating nearby. Obviously, considering the day, people wrote it off as a bad Photoshop job. They also pointed out how terrible the graphics were and how, if it was really Nintendo, they would have put more effort into those graphics. Turns out the joke was really on them when the game was announced and it turned out the leaker was right. But somehow when Nintendo revealed it, everyone was fine with the graphics, at least from what I saw. It's honestly nuts that just because it's the 1st of April, we all assumed it was a troll. Whereas if he had released it before or after that same day, people would have taken it more seriously. But it's also weird how they said the graphics were crap, but then when it actually came up, people were like, oh yeah, it's fine. What? And at 2, Twitch glitch. Twitch is a wonderful place. Big companies use it for reveals, other companies use it as another source of revenue, hiring people to specifically stream their games on their channel, like Roblox for example. I've streamed on Twitch and plenty of people use it as their job. However, when you unintentionally stream to Twitch, things can get a little dicey. Like you don't realize the stream didn't end and then you take off your incredibly sweaty shirt. Or you accidentally reveal an entire game during your rehearsal announcement, ruining one of your company's biggest reveals. Well, as it turns out, Bethesda games aren't the only thing with glitches. Appearing for the 3rd time on this list, this leak is literally all Bethesda's fault. While preparing to reveal Dishonored 2 in 2015, Bethesda was doing a rehearsal on Twitch before the big reveal at E3. However, they didn't realize that they were actually streaming their rehearsal and thus revealed to everyone watching that Dishonored 2 was coming. While they never mentioned the title of the game, the gameplay was enough for fans to connect the dots and work it out. Ouch. That's harsh. Finally, in at number 1, Walmart. Walmart is an amazing store, alright? It's where I would get all my Pokemon cards, and they had exclusive Infinity Stone colored metallic Thanos pop figures that I absolutely adored. But when it comes to their online store, they really need to take a step back and just stop. This was made clear just before E3 of 2018, where Walmart Canada, thanks for that by the way, uploaded a huge placeholder list ad that included some games that weren't even announced yet, and some nobody knew were even in the works. Lego DC Supervillains, Rage 2, and Forza Horizon 4 were all revealed, and Forza was even listed as Forza 5, which is totally wrong, because it was the 4th game. They also revealed Borderlands 3, which wouldn't be officially announced for a whole other year. So somehow Walmart was able to A, get this information, B, reveal this information, and C, have it fly so far under the radar that I didn't even know about it, and I was surprised when these games were announced. I guess if people make a mistake in Canada, we all just keep it a secret because we're just that nice. Or I could have been living under a rock. There we have it, friends, the top 10 scary game leaks we wish were fake. I don't know what you mean. Yes, these are all scary, especially the Fallout 76 one. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit like and subscribe for daily gaming content, and ring that bell to join the clan and level up. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. Please, don't touch me there. This is my no square. No, don't touch me there. No, my no square. What are you doing here, Molly?